Is the product owner role a full-time job? Let's discuss. Hi, I'm Eric Tucker. I'm a certified Scrum trainer and Agile coach. You can go to sustainedagility.com/product owner and download a free gift for you to help justify the cost of a full-time product owner to leadership in your company. I've been in the world of Agile and Scrum for a long time, and I've coached with a lot of different organizations, some large, some small. And there seems to be one thing I'm finding quite common across most of them, and that is this idea that maybe the product owner isn't a full-time job. What does a product owner do with their day if they're not fully occupied? Well, I've seen a lot of companies decide that product owners can be product owners but have a full-time day job that has nothing to do with product ownership. I've also seen organizations say, we can have one product owner serve 3 or 4 teams, and that's not a problem. But is that really true? Let's think of all the things a product owner has to do. Product owners have to identify and understand the product. They have to identify and understand their stakeholders. Stakeholders can be a huge audience of people both inside the company as well as outside the company. Anybody who has a vested interest in what's being built can be called a stakeholder. Product owners have to have regular conversations and interactions with this very large and diverse group. And from my experience of times that I've actually done the role of product owner, stakeholders aren't always the most patient bunch, and they don't always want the same thing. So we have to really understand not only which stakeholders we have to serve immediately and which ones we have tolerance to wait for a little while. That leads us to things like prioritizing the product backlog, the work to be done. Product owners spend a tremendous amount of time prioritizing and reprioritizing that backlog because stakeholder needs change, because the market changes, because things change constantly. Product owners have to stay on top of all of this. And they have the job of not only understanding what stakeholders want, but also setting their expectations as well. We can't let stakeholders think they're going to get everything now if they're not going to get everything now. So they have to have regular interactions with those stakeholders to understand what they want, and also set proper and truthful expectations. Product owners also deal a lot in product strategy. What's going to be our go-to-market strategy? What are our riskiest assumptions regarding our product and its impact? And how can we validate and test those assumptions quickly and inexpensively? Product owners also are responsible for creating the product vision, product goals, populating the backlog with work, participating in things like backlog refinement and sprint planning, and understanding what to do with estimates that they've been given by the team. They also plan releases. They create roadmaps. They create forecasts for executives to understand and for stakeholders in general to understand, when is this work going to be finished based on our current trajectory. But really what I want to zone in on is the cost. Oftentimes, if we were to say to someone who doesn't fully understand what a product owner does, that a product owner needs to be full-time on one team doing nothing but the job of product owner, we're going to be met with resistance to that. And usually the reason that leadership will resist to that is money. It costs a lot of money to have a full-time product owner and hope that they stay busy enough with just one team and only one thing on their plate. If we don't do that, if we have a product owner, let's say, that has 3 or 4 teams, or maybe a full-time job and product owner in part-time aspect, what are we risking? Let's think about backlog refinement for a second, because what backlog refinement is a meeting where the product owner and the team that's doing the work get together and they talk about upcoming work. This conversation has a lot of direct value to both the product owner and the developers. For example, if I had an item, a work item, to remodel my bathroom, and my development team were a group of construction professionals, let's say we had a carpenter, a painter, a tile specialist, a plumber, and an electrician. That's my cross-functional development team. If I simply tell them, remodel my bathroom, and I give them no more information, the odds are they're not going to get it exactly the way I want it, and it's going to need to be redone. Having a product owner who is not intimately familiar with what needs to be done means that that product owner can't give clarity to developers about what needs to be done. And if that work comes into a sprint and gets worked on before developers have any clarity, the odds are they're going to build the wrong thing. And if they do that, there's significant cost involved. Let's think about quantifying that cost. So let's check out a spreadsheet I built, which, by the way, you have access to at the end of this video. So let's say that we have 8 developers on a team. And let's say that the average developer makes $110 an hour. What that means is that our team now costs us $7,040 a day. Now, let's say we have 2-week-long sprints. That means that during a sprint, we have 10 working days, and we are spending $70,400 on our developers per sprint in this scenario. We have 26 sprints per year. If those developers build the wrong thing completely because they didn't have clarity for just one sprint, we've just spent $70,000 building the wrong thing. If we have product owners that don't have the time to know everything there is to know about upcoming work, the odds of us building the wrong thing go up dramatically. As you can see here, it takes about 2 sprints out of 26 of building the wrong thing to already cost justify a full-time product owner. But let's think about this, because some companies have no interest in correcting this problem because they don't know it's a problem. So let's say that we build the wrong thing, not for 2 sprints in a calendar year, but let's say something like 8 sprints. We just spent over $500,000 building the wrong thing because a product owner didn't know what the right thing was, because they didn't have time to interact with their stakeholders and fully understand every item in their product backlog. Now, that's not the only cost. There's another cost. Now we have to turn the wrong thing into the right thing. And how many sprints is that going to take? Let's say it takes the same number of sprints it took to build the wrong thing. Well, now we've just spent 16 sprints out of 26 in a year building the wrong thing and correcting it. And we've just spent over $1.1 million for that inefficiency. Now, according to Glassdoor in January of 2023, the average product owner salary in the U.S. is $115,837 a year. So for the cost of the waste of building the wrong thing and then having to correct it, we could have afforded 10 full-time product owners. 10. So when we, as leaders, look at this and ask, how can we afford full-time product owners? Under this lens, it looks more like, how can we not? So folks, this spreadsheet is available at sustainedagility.com/product owner. It's my free gift to you. You can download it, plug in your numbers, and maybe make a persuasive case based on numbers and data and cost to those who make these decisions in your organization. Hope you found this video valuable. Please give it a like, a share, and a subscribe. Please leave comments in the video about what you'd like to see next out of the channel. I'm happy to make videos that solve your questions and challenges. Hope you got value. Have a great one.